Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Who is Allah to you? To some people, Allah is just an idea, something to read about, something maybe to learn about, and that's the extent of it. To some people, Allah is not only an idea or a notion, but a reality. But what type of reality? For many people, Allah is just a distant reality. Yes, Allah created the world. He's the only one who deserves to be worshipped. But there is no involvement. There's no presence, real presence in their experience. There's no presence for Allah in their life. Everything seems to be running on its own. If they want to do something, they have to initiate the process. They have to do it on their own. Things are just happening automatically. Things are just running on their own system. To those people, Allah is a distant reality. Allah is not involved. But that's not the right understanding of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To the true believers, Allah is the ultimate reality. He's the ultimate truth. Because they experience Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not only at the intellectual level, just an idea or a thought, or a reality that has nothing to do with their life. The true believers experience Allah, His names and attributes, and His nearness at an intimate level. For them it's a realization. It is more evident to them than anything else in their life, than even the things that they can capture with their senses. And that's because they have the content of the names and attributes of Allah in their hearts. They're not stuck in their heads. How can we arrive at something like that? How can we see the presence of Allah, the involvement, the complete involvement of Allah in every aspect of our lives, in everything in our lives? Because everything that happens, even the smallest things, are the design and the creation of Allah. Allah makes them happen. Allah manages them. Allah runs them. So Allah is so evident. Allah is so present in our personal experience. And if we don't see that, it's just because we are blinded by sometimes our intellectualism. We think we know. And we think knowledge about Allah should be in the head, just memorize of information, something that we can talk about, something that we can discuss and lecture about, but not something to experience at a deep level. So that's not knowing Allah, that's knowing about Allah. When you know about Allah, you just have some information about Him. But knowing Allah can only come through personal experience. It is an intimate realization that doesn't come from outside. It actually comes from within. And it's so evident and compelling that you cannot discredit it or disprove it with any intellectual argument. But this process has to be triggered from an outside source. And these are the words, the divine words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the enlightened words of His Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But you have to bring a very important element into the process, and that's your open heart and your pure fitrah. So what we want to do is to get into the names of Allah, make a personal investment in the names, in understanding and relating and living the names and attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that they become the only reality that we live. They start to color everything around us. So they become the reality of our life more than what we describe as physical reality. And this is what some scholars said, إن في الدنيا جنة من لم يدخلها لم يدخل جنة الآخرة. There is Jannah in this dunya. Those who fail to enter it will not be able to enter Jannah in the hereafter. When they were asked, what is this Jannah? They said, knowing Allah. Not knowing about Allah. This is not in the head. This is not ideas. This is a real, personal, intimate experience. Knowing Allah. Ma'rifatullahi wa mahabbatuhu, and loving Allah. The love that flows from your heart once you truly experience Allah at that personal level. وَالْأُنْسُ بِهِ, and the enjoying His company, enjoying His presence in your life. وَالشَّوْقُ إِلَى لِقَائِهِ, and the longing to meeting Him. The reason many people don't experience the love of Allah and they say, how do I acquire the love of Allah? You don't acquire the love of Allah. You are created with fitrah that loves Allah naturally. You love Allah. Your nature loves Allah naturally. But the reason many people are unable to tap into this is because they have kept learning the names and attributes of Allah to an intellectual level. You have to experience them personally. You have to be fully invested in them. And then, as I said, they become the reality in which you live, rather than you being caught up and stuck in the cage of physical reality. That's a profound experience, and it comes with true faith. And the key that helps us unlock this kind of experience, this paradise on earth, is understanding, relating, and delving into the world of the names and attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as I said, at a very intimate, deep level. And this is a great investment. This is something that we will be talking about. This is actually going to be the heart of the course, the upcoming course that I will be giving in collaboration with Bridging the Gaps Foundation in Vancouver, BC, Canada, over 4 consecutive Saturdays for 2 hours each. Each session will be 2 hours, inshaAllah ta'ala. And I am full of hope that you will be able to join us. And I hope, inshallah, that Allah will use me as an instrument to help inspire you, open your hearts to the reality of the names and attributes of Allah, so that they become the reality in which you live and through which you see everything in the world. And hopefully this will bring you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If this becomes a reality, I thank you in advance for this opportunity. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.